Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at the best way to record your presentation for a virtual event, or to deliver that as a pre-recorded presentation at a virtual event. We're going to look at a couple of different options. We're going to look at recording it through PowerPoint itself, which comes with some benefits in the sense that you can edit individual slides. And we're also going to look at recording it using Zoom and Teams. They're programs I know most of you will be familiar with, and it's another way of getting a video output file, albeit with slightly limited editing options. So you do have to be confident to be able to sit there and actually run through your presentation. But anyway, let me take you through the three different options. There's a bonus fourth one as well, which is a piece of software called OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, which is the software we use to produce these videos. I'll put some links in the description to that as well, and speak briefly about that after the other three. So let's jump in and I'll show you the first way of recording your presentation. Okay, so one of the best ways to record our PowerPoint presentation is going to be from actually within PowerPoint itself. So here we can go to the slideshow ribbon at the top here, and we drop down to record slideshow. So if we hit record from the beginning so that we capture the whole slide, the whole presentation, important thing before you start talking, before you start presenting, is to actually press the record button. It will count you in on here, so you can see that we're now live, we're recording, and we can work through the slides on here, and we can talk through them, deliver our presentation as we would as if we were live, clicking through all the various slides till we get to the end of our presentation, and then when we're done with that, we literally hit stop, and that will stop the recording. We close this down so we can see the main slideshow here, and as you can see, as we click through the slides, the video has been added on here, and we can see that that's on these slides as we click through. Now the important thing here is when we want to save this file, that we actually save it as a video file. So you hit File, Save As, choose where you would like to save it to, and it's important that where you have this PowerPoint presentation button, we drop that down and we scroll down to MPEG-4 video, MP4, and we call it any file name that you like. So I'm going to call this one presentation example, and we save that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to open up Zoom, and we're going to click on New Meeting. And that loads up there, so you can see my video. I've got a green screen background that I use for some of our YouTube videos. I'm going to join with computer audio on there, and just close that down. Now the best way to share your PowerPoint presentation, to actually capture it, is to use the share screen button. So if we click on that and we choose Advanced, if you select PowerPoint as a virtual background, that actually lets you kind of do the picture-in-picture, which I think looks quite professional and looks better than just having a square box, but either work. And we hit share, and I'm going to find the PowerPoint file down here, and it loads it up. So as you can see now, I am down in the PowerPoint here. I can click through the slides. Obviously when you're presenting these and capturing them in Zoom using the record feature, you won't actually end up capturing this kind of menu bar here. You won't see that. It's only because I'm using a third-party capture solution to be able to show you how this works. So I'll end that there. Okay, so just so you can see how this looks when we load in here. This is me sharing the PowerPoint recording and showing you how it will look on the outputted video file when it's completed. Essentially, you can deliver your PowerPoint presentation. You can click through your slides on here as well, to actually be able to show the audience and talk through your various PowerPoint slides. And when you're done, and when you've finished recording it, obviously you'll end the meeting, and in a moment I'll show you where you find the final video file. Okay, so by default, Zoom saves the video file into a documents folder in My Documents. So if you navigate there and then you navigate to the folder that you'll be able to see in there called Zoom, you'll see any recordings you've made. So I've made a couple obviously earlier prior to the one that I just demonstrated. But if you click on there, you'll see three different video files, or three different files. One is just the audio, one is the video, and if you press this one here with that will just have Zoom _0, this will play back the video file for you. Okay. Okay, so from Microsoft Teams, we hit Meet Now and then Start Meeting, and that should load up a new meeting window. Just make sure your camera's loaded in okay there. Hit Join Now, just to put yourself in a meeting room. And then what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we hit record on the meeting. So we're going to hit start recording, and you'll be able to find the file afterwards in your kind of OneDrive or your default recording location for your Teams installation. But what we do is we're going to hit share content now, and we're going to scroll down to actually browse where we've got PowerPoint Live. I'm going to browse my computer and find the file here. Load that up. It just takes a moment for that to load through, and then what we get to see a window where we can actually present from. But what I'll do in a moment, I'll reshoot this and actually record it from the perspective of what you'll see as an attendee and what the completed video file will look like. Okay, so here's the PowerPoint presentation that I've loaded in. I'm going to share this as a final video so you can see what the video output looks like. And as we click through the slides, obviously they'll change for the audience. You'll be able to see the previous screen which had your notes on, or any notes that you had added on there, and then output in a much more professionally finished manner that you can see now. Okay, so I hope that's given you an overview of the 3 different ways that you can record and capture your presentation. Personally, I think the Zoom output is probably the best of the 3 in terms of how it looks, in terms of how it works, and I think it looks very professional at the end. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Obviously, it's down to personal preference as well. You need to use what you feel comfortable with and what you're used to using. There is a 4th way. There's a piece of software called OBS, which is Open Broadcaster software. So if you stick that into Google, you'll come across that. It is a more advanced system, so I would recommend that for the more intermediate users, but it does give you a lot more creative control over the videos. There's a lot more elements you can edit. You can bring in different screens, share different information on there, and it's a great bit of software. If you've got any other tips and tricks to record presentations and you think they would be useful for us, please share those with me. I'll add them into a follow-up video, and I'll share them with our speakers across our different conferences. I hope this video has been useful. I hope you'll enjoy recording your own presentation, and I'll leave you guys to it. Bye for now.